Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Yassine, and if you follow my channel, you know that I'm an Android user, and if you're new here, I'm an Android user. But that doesn't mean I don't like iPhone or the Apple ecosystem. I always say don't knock on something unless you try it, and since the new announcement of the iPhone 10, I've been really wanting to try the iPhone 10. There's a lot of reasons why I wanted to try the iPhone 10, but one reason stood out on top of all of them, and that's because of that design. I mean, look at those shots. The iPhone 10 is beautiful, and that plays a major role in the type of phones that I buy. I also look at tech specs and price and all that stuff just because I'm a tech head, but honestly, design plays a major role in the type of phones that I get or the phones that I'm interested in. So I've been using the iPhone 10 for the last 30 days straight as my main phone, and I just want to share my thoughts with you guys on it. I broke this review down into 5 major categories, starting off with design, performance, user interface, battery life, and camera performance. So let's just dive right in. So staying with design, like mentioned before, I feel like Apple has finally caught up with modern design of cell phones. The combination of OLED display, minimal bezels, glass back just make the phone look and feel great in the hands. It comes in 2 colors, white with shiny sides and matte black or gray, and I chose the matte black because, well, it's matte black. I think we should matte black everything. A lot of people tend to hate on the notch of the iPhone 10, but it hasn't really bothered me much other than when watching video in landscape mode. The notch also does create blank spaces in certain apps, but I think that'll eventually disappear as more apps become optimized for the new design. Also, I'd like to mention with the glass back, the iPhone 10 can now charge wirelessly. I've always been a fan of wireless charging, and now that Apple's on board, we will definitely see more wireless charging available in public places like airports and Starbucks. So once you get past the beautiful design, then you're hit with iOS user interface. And this is where the most discomfort came for me since I'm coming from Android. The lack of home screen customization really bothers me. All you have is a grid of apps, and the most you can do is put them in folders if you want to change things up. The new iPhone 10 does bring some familiar features from Android though, such as gestures, and even pulling the toggles down from the top of the phone, similar to Android's notification bar, which houses the toggles like the Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, brightness settings, just to mention some. Speaking of notifications, what's up with iOS's notification system? Why aren't all the notifications grouped together to make things easier to deal with? I always thought iOS was a simpler and easier operating system, but the way they handle notifications just doesn't make sense. Seriously, Apple, do something about that. Other than that, the iPhone 10 is blazing fast, runs apps without a hiccup. So that says a lot about the performance power of the new A11 Bionic chip that's powering the iPhone 10. Apple was never the company to push the envelope when it comes to specs, so when you look at it and see that it has 3 gigs of onboard RAM, then it seems kind of low for a 2017 flagship phone. But Apple has always done extremely well when it comes to optimizing their phone, so the 3 gigs of RAM, they work just perfectly fine. Whether you're an iPhone fan or not, when it comes to performance, there isn't really nothing to worry about it. It's blazing fast. And now the battery life. It's actually pretty good. It gets me through a whole day of using the phone, and I must admit I do get a slightly better battery life than the Pixel 2 XL, and that thing was impressive. And let's not forget that iPhone has always been the champ when it comes to standby time. Now that paired with the OLED display, then battery life honestly is an afterthought. But we'll have to wait to see how it performs after a year, especially with the recent Apple battery issues after your phone becomes 1 year old. Stay tuned for that. Now let's talk about my favorite part on any smartphone, the camera. When it comes to the camera, it has the same sensor as the iPhone 8 Plus, but now both cameras on the iPhone 10 have optical stabilization, which helps a lot, and you can definitely tell the difference when you're using the 2x zoom lens in video mode. And with photos, just like all the past iPhones, Apple did a great job with the camera. Pictures come out sharp, detailed, and the color pops just the right amount. But coming from a Pixel 2 XL, I would have to say that it comes second place to the Pixel 2 XL's camera. I did a video comparing side by side between the Pixel 2 XL and the iPhone 10, and I'll link that in the description if you guys want to check it out. When it comes to the front-facing camera of the iPhone 10, it does a really good job, but at times it does tend to overexpose more than I like it to. The iPhone 10 does bring portrait mode, and it does it in both cameras, the front and the rear camera. But the front-facing camera is a hit or miss with edge detection sometimes. But it will get better with software updates, so that's a major plus. So when it's all said and done, I do like the iPhone. I think it's the best looking iPhone out there right now, and I would recommend this for anybody that uses the Apple ecosystem. But I'm going back to my Android, and it's only for one reason. It's because of iOS. I almost feel like iOS has you locked down and have you doing things the way you want it to do it. And with the Pixel phones or Android phones, you have more freedom. You can sideload apps, customize your home screen, and do a lot more stuff that you want with it. And because of that reason, and that reason only, I am going back to my Google Pixel 2 XL. But I'm glad that I tried the iPhone, and maybe things change a little bit more on the iOS system and the whole operating system and user interface. I will come back to it. I definitely do understand iMessage and why people love it so much. It was awesome, and I am going to miss it. I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Also consider subscribing to my channel. That really helps me grow. And if you guys have any questions or any comments that you want to make about this video or the iPhone 10, let me know in the comment section down below. I'll be over there answering questions. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Until then, stay plugged.